No, you're fine. Going the wrong way.
You're just going in circles. Just want to go. Look.
Oh. No. 1,500. 1,500.
Yeah, well, I graduated 2015.
Hello, my lovely friends. Welcome to my channel. We are here today, back again for Flosstube 158. I am Jan of Jan Hicks Creates, and today we're going to be talking about stitching, new designs, knitting, friendships, and sheep. Lots of sheep were part of my life this weekend. It was fun. So welcome to my channel. I am Jan of Jan Hicks Creates. Welcome back for my old friends that have been with me for a while, and welcome to anybody that might be new joining me for the first time. I hope you enjoy what you see here. Like I said, this is Flosstube 158. The videos and photos that you saw at the beginning were from my weekend up in Sun Valley, Idaho. That is where Ketchum and Haley are. That is kind of in the middle of the state. There's a valley that runs up between two mountain ranges, and nestled in that area are these beautiful little towns. And this past weekend was the Trailing of the Sheep. The Trailing of the Sheep is an annual festival that happens to celebrate, I guess I need to say, the tradition of bringing the sheep down from the high pastures down to their winter pastures in the valley. This is a tradition that has been going on for years, and it is actually a tradition brought by, it's a festival that celebrates the traditions of the Basque people, the Highlanders, and the Peruvians who are part of the community of the ranches and the sheep herders. I don't know if they were some of the first that had sheep ranches in the valley, but anyways, they are a large part of the tradition of the valley, and so it celebrates their culture. It celebrates everything sheep, and then the end part of the weekend is where they bring sheep down the main street of Ketchum, Idaho, to symbolize the sheep coming down to their lower pastures, their winter pastures. There's about 1,500 sheep that come through the town for this parade. So we were up there for the second time. This is our second viewing of the Trailing of the Sheep. Last year was the first one. It was right before we moved into the house, so that means this coming week is when we closed on the house a year ago this coming week. So we've been here just about a year, and it definitely feels like home at this point. So gorgeous weekend. Weather was perfect in the 70s. The leaves were changing. It was blue skies. It was just gorgeous. But the highlight of the weekend was the chance I had to spend time getting to know and chatting with Sarah Grimes Emmons. She is known to many of you on Instagram and here on Flosstube as well as Mistress Paige. She just started her YouTube channel not too long ago. She has 7 videos out now, and I know a lot of you already know her and have heard of her by through Brenda and Laura, and she has been following me for years, since Hawaii. And so it was great to finally get to meet her in person. She is, she's my tribe. She's my jam. We talked about everything from stitching, of course, Flosstube, books, the current situation in the world, RVing. Her and her husband are former RVers as well. I mean, just a wide range of subjects, and it was just, we probably spent, well, we went to their condo first for lunch, and then headed up to the parade, where we missed apparently a large part of it. I'm not sure how, because we weren't that late. But anyways, we were in time to see the sheep come through, so that's the important thing. And there were jumping sheep. I mean, what more could you ask for, right? They cracked us up. And then we went back to the condo and just sat and chatted for another like 4 or 5 hours. It was fantastic. So Sarah, thank you so much for having us in your little home right there in Ketchum. Like I said, it was the highlight of the weekend. Sarah did make this and bring this for me. I actually did not think to ask who the designer is, but it is a sweet little stitch. She actually said that she learned that you don't go anywhere in the stitching community without taking something as a gift, and I didn't have anything, so I apparently do not know that rule. So I am so sorry, Sarah. I will make it up to you, I promise. But she made this gorgeous thing for me, finished it herself. I had to tell her that, because her finishing is beautiful, I had to tell her that as I was watching one of her videos, I was finishing one of my new designs here that I'll show you in a second, and I was swearing up a blue streak. So she just kept smiling and talking through all of my swearing. She was unaware of it in the video. But anyways, this is very pretty, and I appreciate it, Sarah. Thank you so much. So yeah, that was our weekend. We were out in our little camper, our little trailer. We had Nina with us. It was a great, like I said, just a great, gorgeous weekend to be out and about. So I hope you enjoyed the few little videos and photos that I did share at the beginning, and the jumping sheep. I mean, it's just perfect. Let's see. Let me move some of these things. I wanted to share a picture with you. I heard from Rachel Lasky yesterday evening. She is the woman who did my model stitching for the green version of Palace of the Winds, and she sent me a picture of it yesterday. So I wanted to share that with you. So again, this is the green colorway of the Cottage Garden threads. I should...
Hello!
Oh, we talk about up close and personal. All right, you be careful out there. Surprise visit from Mike. He's my husband, for those that don't know. Anyways, I can't remember the name of the fabric. It is a 40 count. It is one of Hobby House's dyes, linens. I've asked her multiple times to remind me what the color is, because I did send this fabric and floss to her, but I don't remember off the top of my head. So, but anyways, that is what the green the finished green one looks like. And I will be putting the photos of this both on my website. I haven't made a post yet about Palace of the Winds, but I will be, and I'll have both the green and the burgundy photos side by side so you can see both of them. And I will also be putting it on my product page on Etsy, so it'll be there for people to check out, so they can make a decision about whether they want to stitch it in green or burgundy. So anyways, Rachel, thank you so much for doing that. It's beautiful, and I know it's a lot of stitching, so I really appreciate all the work that you put into that. So I have other new designs I'm going to share with you. First, I want to, I finally got the set of all of the stuff that is in the Silver Bells set this year. This is the collaboration set that I do with Maria Kutzner, Mystic Meadow Creations. So she's actually sent me her model, and I have the set. I know I've shown you pictures, but I wanted to show it all to you in real life on a video. It's real in my life. There are more of these available. So we have the project bag. And the project bag has a little zipper pull. So she has the little star with a little bead on it. And I believe she has said that all the beads will, it's not all the same color bead in all the sets. All the different beads coordinate, but you may not get a light blue bead. You may get something else. So this is the project bag, and it is lined with a kind of white swirl fabric. It does have a nice interfacing, so it is not super floppy. It has some body. It's a good size. She also has a coordinating thread bed. So that has the felt inside. And I will say thread beds are my preferred way of organizing my floss. Once I get it off of whatever skein or whatever it might be in, I keep the rest of the strands in the thread bed. So I love thread beds. So that's the coordinating thread bed. I just sent the floss drop, or the floss ring. I don't know the names of all of these things. Flying. Okay, so we have a floss ring. We have that pretty little wintry scene in the little jewelry on it. There is a little Silver Bells charm, and again a bead. And again, you may not get the dark green bead. You'll may get another color bead, but they all coordinate with the set. You get the floss drops. She has not. I don't know if she's going to. I know she isn't going to punch holes in the bottom in case you have a different type of hole you like to punch. There's a hole in the top, so it is the kind of looks like the project bag fabric, and then on the back you have the place to put your thread and your color. And then, and this is just all the jewelry that comes with it, right? And then we have the needle minder. So the needle minder has one of the little houses, like is in the pattern, little winter scene with the pine trees, bell-shaped. This is an enamel needle minder. It does have the magnet on the back. So that is included. So that is all part of the project bag set. And then you also get, along with that, the pattern. And the pattern is my Silver Bells design. And like I said, I have both my finish of it and Maria's. Maria sent it to me to show you. So Maria's is stitched on the blue. That is 36 count stone washed by Under the Sea Fabrics. Mine is 36 count Aine, A-I-N-E. I'm not totally sure how to pronounce that. Aine by Under the Sea Fabrics. So both of ours are stitched on 36 count with the over dyed floss. It's almost all, I think there's 8 colors in total. Two of which are DMC. The rest are the over dyed flosses. So you can see how they look together on the pink and the blue. Now, in addition to the set, if you would like, you can also buy fabric and floss. So she does have both of the colors of fabric, the stone-washed and the Agne, in 32 count and 16 count. So you can choose between the color and the count. And then she is also selling the floss packs. So that is the, like I said, if I remember correctly, it's 6 colors of overdyed floss and 2 of DMC. And you should only, it's 1 skein of each, and that should be plenty when stitching on the 32 count or the 16 count. I think if you use 2 strands too, so you should be good with 1 skein of each. So that is the Silver Bells set, my collaboration with Maria Kutzner this year. I will be putting a link down below to her website. Like I said, there are more still available. Don't wait too long because they will sell out. She does ship internationally. I want to pull up her comment on that so I can be sure I'm telling it to you correctly. Let's see. All right, so she is charging $14.99 for international shipping to Europe and $9.99. But we're not, and $9.99 to Canada. So I have a feeling they're probably taking a hit on shipping. Looking at those, they haven't priced any shipping west, like to Australia. But just to give you an idea, that is what she's charging for shipping to the couple of different international places. So that is the Silver Bells set. And like I said, I will link, it's all sold through Maria's website, Mystic Meadow Creations, but I will be linking that below. Okay, so other new designs. First is Peace Christmas Candles. This is already being shipped to stores. So if you go into your local store or go to your favorite online store, you may be able to find it there. I did already get a reorder from Hoffman's after their first batch went out. So I know that stores are ordering it and getting it in. If your store does not carry it and you're interested in it, please do let them know you're interested in it and let them know that they can get it through Hoffman. So this is 5 colors of DMC. It is, my model is stitched on a 40 count Tyco by Picture This Plus. So yeah, just 5 colors of DMC. Now I want to add in here, and I'm not making any promises at this point, but I have the idea to try and make this sort of feel for Hanukkah and Kwanzaa. Now, because there are so many more candles for both of those traditions, I'm not quite sure I can make it work without it being huge. I would have to make the candles much smaller, of course, and I'll just have to see if the designs inside work, additional designs, and a whole layout that will work where you can see the candles. Now, I would be interested in knowing, so I have the word peace on this one. A friend of mine who is Jewish suggested that I put the word l'chaim for the Hanukkah one. I would be interested in hearing from any of you who do celebrate Kwanzaa. I've done some research and I see that there's different, each candle kind of symbolizes a different word, a different, what's the word I'm looking for? A different concept that you would like your families to embody. But is there one word that I could use that would kind of represent Kwanzaa, or is it just Kwanzaa itself? I would be interested in hearing from any of you that do celebrate Kwanzaa, what you think of this idea. And of course, the colors would change for those 2 different designs as well. So anyways, that that is something I'm hoping to start playing with here in the next couple weeks, as well as starting to design Carolyn's balloons winter and the samplings of lace winter. So lots to look at this next couple of weeks. My other new designs are a little small set. And these are the pieces that I was swearing at as I was watching Sarah's video. So this one says believe. And this one says Mary. And I just wanted to do kind of a Christmassy winter type of feel, that, you know, something you can maybe leave out all season without it being too Christmassy. And I think I achieved that. I hate finishing. I just don't feel, I'm not very good at it. I don't have the skills to make them look as good as so many of you make them look. So excuse my kind of wonky looking little finishes. Maria is going to be visiting me the first week of November, and I think we're going to be doing some intensive lessons on how to finish smalls like this. So these are stitched with, I should have reminded myself, I think 6, wait, this one has 5, yes, this one has 5 colors of over-dyed floss, and this has those same 5 plus an additional one. And there are DMC conversions as well. I have stitched this on 46 count The Cat's Whiskers by Tabby Cat Linens. These would be beautiful on any pale grays. You could probably do darker grays as well if you wanted those colors to really pop, or pale blues. I don't know that I do a darker blue because I'd be afraid that you would lose you know, some of those colors in the darker blue. But anyways, this will be on Hoffman's new list this coming Friday. So I would hope that that it'll start showing up in stores pretty soon. I am not going to put these new designs on my Etsy store until probably for a couple weeks, until I'm sure that stores have started to get them. I kind of want to let the retail stores have first dibs on my designs. And then I will be putting them up on my Etsy store, you know, for people to buy the PDFs. So those are my new ones. Yes. Okay. Now, I have not, oh, and I wanted to tell you, this is I just noted a chip on this and on this frame, and it reminded me, this is actually a thrift store frame. $2 for the frame. I've had it for a number of months, and it just fit perfectly. Now, like I said, this is 40 count linen, and this is an 8x10 frame. So stitching this on 40 count does allow you to use an 8x10 frame. It fits perfectly. And I would bet if you stitched it on 36 count, you would have less space for margins, but it would probably still fit in an 8x10 frame. So wanted to share that little tidbit with you. I also wanted to share, I keep forgetting all these little tidbits because I didn't write it in my notes, the backing fabric that I've used for these, and that I used in this, and that I used in this, and another one that I'm not going to show you now because it's an exclusive for Stitch West, is from the charm packs, the 10x10 charm packs that I'm getting from Fat Quarter Shop. I did sign up for I believe it's their Moda Fabric Club for the 10x10 charm packs, and I am finding it wonderful having these gorgeous fabrics at my disposal. You know, I don't want to have a lot of fabric, but those charm packs are just perfect to allow me to have coordinating pretty fabrics to use when finishing these smalls that I'm swearing at. Okay, so for the past few weeks since I saw you last, I really have been spending pretty much all of my time stitching these new designs as well as knitting. I showed you the beginning of my blanket for Ben in my last video. I am still working on that. I have a feeling I will be working on it till the very last minute, although I have kind of come up with an idea that will help me get it finished sooner. So, this is impossible to show you all of it at once unless I stood up, and I don't have room to stand up. But anyways, this is, it's really nice, if I do say so myself. They have two sizes in the pattern, throw and Afghan, and I planned on making the Afghan. I am on the last section for the throw size, and you might remember this is a log cabin style pattern. So how you work it is you knit a section, you bind off those stitches, you turn it clockwise, one turn, you pick up stitches along the edge here, and then knit the next section. So you're just constantly turning, picking up, knitting on, binding off, turning. So that means it's going to end up a square. I think I have, like I said, this is the last section of the throw size, and I think I have 4 more sections after that. So it's going to end up being a square. And what I'm thinking, my idea to make it so that I am sure I get this finished, is that, so let me back up and say, the reason I'm worried is because I'm taking at this point with these longer rows, and it is all garter stitch, so it goes really fast, especially for a continental stitcher. I knit fast, but it's still taking me anywhere from 2 to 3, maybe 4 days for each section. So I have the rest of this one. This will probably take me, I may get finished with this section tonight, but if not, I'll be finishing it up tomorrow and starting the next one tomorrow. But that, so 4 more sections times giving myself a generous amount, or a not generous amount, 3 days. That still means, what's 3 times 4? 12. 12 days. If I could do it, I might get it done. Ben leaves Missouri on the 22nd. I'm not sure how many days he's going to take to get here, 2 or 3 probably. So say he gets here on the 25th, and then they're here for 2 days, leaving on the 27th. 26th or 27th. I would want to have it done by the 26th. And today's the 11th. So if I could get it done in 12 days, that would get me there. But anyways, here's what I'm thinking. Once I finish this section, I may add just 2 more sections, one at the top and one at the bottom, to make it more of a rectangle rather than a square, so that it might be a little bit more, longer for a longer body than a square. I don't know. We'll see. So anyways, I have been spending pretty much every day, late afternoon and the entire evening, knitting this. If I decide to keep going and do all 4 of the sections left, I will be taking this with me to Stitch West, and I will probably be doing mostly knitting on this rather than any stitching. But I will have to see where I am, because Stitch West is, it's a week from this coming Friday. So, yeah. Lots to do to get ready for that yet. So that is Ben's Afghan. I started it, basically when I get it done, it'll be about a month and a half that it took me to knit it. It is really nice. I'm feeling, I mean, it's long enough now. I have it laying on me as I'm knitting it. It is really nice. Nice and warm and cozy. All right. So I have done a tiny bit of other stitching. Reach down here and get it. And this is just mostly when, well, really I took it with me to stitch on the way, on the drive to the Trailing of the Sheep Festival and back, because I knew I would have a cat on my lap most of the time. and I cannot knit this blanket with a cat on my lap. She would either be on top of or under the blanket, and if she were on top of it, I don't want to take the chance of any threads getting pulled out with her claws. So anyways, I worked on this Christmas fruit basket by Threadwork Primitives. This is one of my ones that I think I started it last year, maybe for Christmas in July, maybe for Mania. And I started to work on it this July for Christmas in July, and you know, my Christmas in July plans got waylaid by getting ready for Expo. So, didn't get much done on it then, but I got quite a bit done on it this weekend, mostly because the section on the blanket that I had been working on, I had a whole skein of the cream yarn. I ran out before I could finish up that section. So I got more stitching done. So I am coming up on a finish on this. I have that little star left to do at the end of Christmas, and I have the branches to do coming off the fruit basket, and then I have the border to do underneath. Now, I still won't work on this until the blanket is done. All of my extra time is spent on the blanket, but that may get done in a couple days, or maybe a week. A couple days. I'm so funny. It's not going to get done in a couple days. It may get done in a week. And then I can pull other things back out. But then by then, hopefully, I'll be stitching models again. Anyway, this is stitched on 40 count tea set by Graham Cracker Fabrics. And I am using my own conversion using Vicki Clayton silk, hand-dyed silks. So that is really the only other stitching I've done besides model stitching. Okay, I'm going to clear off the flat surfaces around me. I think that was all of that, and then bring out my haul. So be right back. Okay, first and foremost, I want to start with this beauty. So this is one of the Patoki stands. I know you've seen many other people, well, maybe not many, but you've seen other people, especially Deb and Liz, country stitchers, talk about these stands. Gorgeous, gorgeous workmanship. Now, how did I get one of these? I had another fellow Flosstube viewer reach out to me. She had been contacted by Velka Patoki, by the company, and to see if she would be interested in working with them to reach out to other cross-stitchers who might be interested in trying out a new version of their stand. And so she reached out to me, and I was like, heck yeah. I'd heard about these. I hadn't actually pulled the trigger for one yet, although I had looked at them several times. So I was thrilled. Now, this was back in June, the end of June, that she did get in touch with me. And for those that don't know, these makers are in Ukraine. They are in Odessa, and I believe they're in Odessa. But they're in Ukraine, so you can imagine what they've been dealing with for the past almost a year now. But they are still continuing to make the stands. I just got this in the mail. Well, when we got back from our trip, it was waiting for us. I think it was actually delivered last Friday. So it took from June, and of course it takes a while for them to make things as well. They're all one of a kind, you know, that's not like they're factory manufactured. So it did take a while to get here. But quite frankly, I'm just surprised anything is getting out at this point with what they're going through over there. But this is a new version of their mini stand. And it is so nice. So it has this little lever here. What I have on it right now is the only other tiny bit of stitching I did, and I only did it to get the hoop in here to try it out. This is actually, oops, I forgot the book. Hold on. This is the Hands Across the Sea design, Mrs. Campbell, 1805. And this is 56 count wood smoke linen that I'm stitching it on with the 100.3 silks. So I don't know about their other mini stand. This is basically, it may be meant to use more as a tabletop stand, so you have it kind of sitting in front of you. But I don't often, except for retreats, I don't often stitch at a table. So I tried it on my lap, and I don't think you can see it on my lap, but it fits fine. It does have the clamp, and the clamp rotates, so I can tilt my work towards me, and I can flip it around to get to the back. This clamp is on here sturdily, but not so tight that it doesn't move. And it's not something you have to like loosen to turn it and turn it, you know, tighten it back up once you get whatever done what you want to do. This is the only knob you have to turn to widen this space to put in here whatever you want to put in. There's also this little lever here that loosens up this part that allows you to change the tilt. So if you are working at a table, you can change the tilt so it comes down where you need it to be for working at a table. So I think it's pretty darn versatile for what it is, for how small it is. And then you tighten this up, you push it back down when you want get it into the position you want. I did try this as well as the hoop. I also tried it with a Q-snap that my Balmy Spring Days is on, and a frame. Let me get the frame. I should have had all this sitting here. Hold on. So I did try it with this frame, and it's not a very big one. It's what, maybe 14, 18 inches. It's not a big one. It did hold this frame just perfectly well in the clamp. If you had one of the bigger frames, I don't know that it would hold it as well. I think you'd almost have to have like an armrest on the other side for the end of the frame to rest on. But I don't know for sure. I didn't use it with a bigger frame, but it worked fine for this smaller one. I did also use it, like I said, with my Balmy Spring Day Q-snap. And I had the same problem with this clamp as I had with the Elan clamp, that because it's a rounded edge, the Q-snap wanted to sag. You know, there wasn't enough grip on this clamp, and I tightened it down pretty tight. So for those of you that have, excuse me, their mini table stand, mini desktop stand that has the similar clamp, if you use Q-snaps, what do you do to get it so that it doesn't sag? I would be interested in hearing about that. But otherwise, I think it's very versatile and very easy to use. It comes in several different colors. The finish on it, like I said, the finish is just gorgeous. I did get the pretty yellow one, which is kind of unusual for me, but I actually saw somebody at StitchCon who had a yellow one of their mini stands, their other mini stands, and it was so pretty. So when I was asked if I was interested, I was like, I'll have a yellow one. So anyways, I will be linking. I do not know the price of this yet. I've asked that question. I have to see if I've gotten a response yet. I will be linking their website below. They have a new category called modern, and that's what this falls in. As of this morning, they did not have it populated yet with any of the products, but I'm sure if you keep an eye on it, excuse me, if you keep an eye on it, you will see them show up in there very quickly. But yeah, this is beautiful. This is actually carved with the name of the company on the bottom. So yeah, each is individually made and just really superior quality. All right, so there's that. I don't know that I'll continue with Mrs. Campbell. I would love to be like Sarah and be able to stitch all the things. I tell you what, you got to check out her Flosstube because she's a retired doctor and she stitches. I mean, that's basically what she does in her free time, which is a lot of time now. So she touches a lot of things. So jealous. I shouldn't say that. I love my designing. I love stitching all these things. Oh, I forgot something. So along with this stand came this sweet little pattern from a designer named The Coast Primitives. I don't know whether you can read that up there or not. The name of the pattern is Windowsill Orchids. So really pretty framed, stitch framed floral arrangement. She sent me a little note along with it. She says, "Greetings, my name is Anastasia and I am Ukrainian cross-stitch designer. Let me introduce to you one of my patterns. I'd be honored if you came to visit my Etsy shop and the Coast Primitives. All the best to you, Anastasia Anasova. So I assume that there's a connection between this designer and the Patoki company. I will be linking her Etsy shop below as well because she does really have some very sweet patterns in addition to this that I think you'll really be interested in seeing. Okay, so other stuff I got. My next design in the Into the Woods set from Cottage Garden Samplings, the bat, to add to my collection. I don't know at all when I will get these stitched. My poor little fox is still just sitting over there. I just love it when I get little surprises in the mail like this. Look at this pumpkin. Isn't that awesome? Now, I don't know whether, let's see. I don't think she says in here. This is from Pam Calvo. She says, "Thank you very much for my winning chart, Mirabilia Carrying Wings. Love your designs and your Flosstube. Happy fall." So I don't know whether Pam knit this herself, but I love this. Isn't that pretty? And it has like a little plastic, I guess, stem on it. Thank you, Pam. I have not put out my fall decorations yet. I hope to get that done here before Ben arrives at least. So this will fit in well. So there's that. I got the next set of the NPI Fine Floss Club from Fat Quarter Shop. These ones are called Bunny Brown. So it's a really pretty range of browns in that one to add to my collection. I did get the next charm pack from Fat Quarter Shop. They're still having some supply issues with their fabric clubs. I think, I don't know whether this is July or August. I know they're a month or so behind. It doesn't bother me. It'll come when it comes. But anyways, this is called Buttercup and Slate by Corey Yoder. And I know you can't see the different fabrics very well, but it is a great selection of different yellows and grays and greens. And it makes me actually think that would be kind of a cool palette to design something in, maybe in the spring. So that is that. Now, next, my darling Mrs. Sadis sent me a little package. It's not a little package, it's a big package. So she has several new colorways that she shared with me, and she always sends me the full skeins, and it just blows my mind. We have Love. And I'm going to open these up for you so you can really see how the colors play along the skein. So this one is called Love. And this one is called Hope. This is scrumptious. I love how it's darker, like this darker evergreen into the lighter green mixing with the golds and then the gold on the end. This is so pretty. Then we have Lust, and this is I think it's a surprising mixture of like yellow to orange to a kind of an orangey red into a purple. And again, mixed across the skein, but more on one end of the purple and then down to the gold on the end. And when I look at these, I think about how would I cut this? You know, if I want to cut it in half, it's going to be lengths that long, which is good. But how would I cut this? You know, would I want to have the purple? Yeah, I think that's what I would do. I would have it so that most of the purple was on one side and then the oranges and the golds on the other. This would be great for an autumn palette. And then last but not least, well, actually the last of the silk threads is Peppa. So this is the one that she named and dyed after her dog, Peppa, because these are all the colors in her puppy. And again, so totally different, right? From one side to the other. You have the darker and then fading to a lighter, kind of creamy yellow brown. So you could cut it so that the dark was on one side and the browns and creams were on the other. But if you really are working on something where you want all the colors to flow, I think you would cut it like that. So you have some of all the colors on each strand. Gorgeous. So much fun. And then she sent me this. Now this is wound like into a cake of yarn. She says this is silk pearl yarn, approximately, and I think this says 0.5. So I'm not actually sure what that means. So it's like pearl cotton, only it's silk. Well, you can see it's thicker. This would be interesting to try like one strand on a 32 count to see what the coverage is, or 28 if it was too thick. But the colors are, I mean, this is scrumptious. These are my colors. Blues and pale greens and purples. It's just beautiful. I don't know what I'll use this for, but it's calling my name. All right, so that's, thank you, Raquel. I don't think I messaged you yet to thank you. I'm sorry about that. Gorgeous. I will correct that mistake. All right, and last but not least were goodies that I got this weekend. Now, I will say there were probably at least a half dozen. You know, of the one of the let me back up and like create a whole sentence here. On Saturday of the Trailing of the Sheep Festival is what is called the Folklife Festival, which is in Haley, and it is vendors of everything sheep related. And then that's where the different dancers from the different cultures, traditions, Highlanders, Onkari of the Peruvians, and the Basque, or is the Onkari Basque, or Basque, I mean, they do performances in one of the areas in the park where the fair is. But there's all kinds of different vendors of, like I said, everything sheep related. And the food is also sheep related. So most of it's like lamb type of dishes. And as we were walking through, probably a half dozen at least, if not more, were yarn vendors. And, you know, I looked in them and they all have such pretty yarn. I was not tempted at all. And I made the comment to Mike that, you know, I probably have more yarn than all these vendors put together have here in their booths. I do not need more yarn. And he said, yes, finally. I was like, all right now, just calm yourself. But I did get a couple of goodies. There were some quilters there. And actually, I'm not quite sure how quilting relates to sheep, unless they have quilts with sheep on, which some of them did, but not all of them. But anyways, there was a quilter that made project bags. They actually call these laptop bags, and I got one from them last year as well. So this is one, as you can see, is music themed. They do have this little pouch in the front, and then a zippered area. So I think it's really great for a project. And this has, the zipper pull has this little, if I can get it facing the right way so you can see it, this little keyboard charm. So I thought this was perfect, you know, for as much as I love music and played the piano for many years. So I got that, and then look at this guy. Isn't he adorable? With the little horns. So another sheep to add to my collection. So last but not least, actually, I think I said that was last but not least, but I forgot this box behind me, which is also sheep related, as a matter of fact. My last club kit from Laura Nelkin came. Laura Nelkin, you may recall, is one of my favorite knitwear designers, and she has a club called the N Club. This is actually the last year she's doing the N Club. We don't know yet what her new thing is going to be, because I'm sure she'll still have some kind of club going on, but it's not going to be this type of thing. So anyways, the kit is to make a cowl, and that is what the cowl looks like. It is called the North, as you can see, the North Link cowl. The yarn is Northlight Fibers lace, Forever Lace. It is a alpaca and bamboo blend. So 2 colors of the yarn. The little kit, the little goodie in the kit was this pretty little tin, which would actually be great as an Ort jar. And these Lantern Moon finishing needles, so instead of having like another type of finishing needle where you have the big old eye, these have kind of like a loop, and they're in the typical Lantern Moon wooden needle variety. So those are really pretty. And then a little goodie, peanut butter jelly belly, or peanut butter popcorn jelly bellies. I don't really like popcorn jelly bellies, but you know, you get what you get. She tries very hard to keep things so that she doesn't have to worry about anybody's food allergies, and I really appreciate that. So that is the last of the club kits from Laura, at least this rendition of them. And I think that is the last of my goodies. So last but not least, I have to unbury the angel card. There it is. It has a very fall vibe to it this year, or today, this week, this video, this one. Speaking of which, Stitch West, Teresa Kogut is going to be at Stitch West. I am so excited to meet her in person. This angel card says, you may get knocked down in life. Getting up is a choice. Always get up. That is hard to do. I am not the most energetic person in the world. So if I get knocked down, my choice is usually to stay down and to sit and stitch. I'm trying to be better at that as I get older, but also as I get older, I get knocked down more. I have a problem with my knee now. My back is still not very happy some days, and I was doing yoga one day and I did something to my knee. Getting old is not for sissies. I try and stay healthy, but my body rebels. Anyway, we do what we can, right? Do what we can to stay healthy, to get back up, to keep going. Anyways, that is all I have for you today. Yep, looking around, I touched all my piles. I love you guys. I am so glad you dropped by and see me all these days. I do not have any giveaways for you this week again. I have gotten out, I believe, all of the PDF prizes that have been won. I have a commitment in my brain to get the other giveaways mailed out before Stitch West. So those are gone and off my plate and off of my list. And I'm not going to have another giveaway until I do that, so that they're not just stacking up. And then they become even more of an issue, right? As they stack up, oh, it's such a lot to get to. You know how that works, right? It becomes kind of overwhelming in your brain, and so you keep putting it off, and then it becomes more overwhelming. Why do we do that? That needs to be on an angel card. Procrastination. Something about procrastination. Anyways, guys, thank you for being here. Thank you for spending time with me. I hope you have a lovely week.